Multi-receiver invoice. When parts arrive in the same shipment, they are all added to the same receiver document. In most cases, the supplier will send an invoice to match the same product that was shipped, so that the user can convert the receiver to an invoice for payment. Occasionally, the supplier will send an invoice that consolidates few of the shipments that were received. Since the invoice in Pentagon must match the vendor invoice, the receivers must be combined in the same invoice. In this sample, there are 3 purchase orders from the same supplier. To merge the different receivers to the same invoice, all the receivers must be from the same supplier and must have the same remit to payment. Here, the parts were received in different shipments. Therefore, for purchase orders 1542 and 1541, 2 different receivers were created. For purchase order 1540, 1 receiver was created. To create an invoice from multiple receivers, select the purchase order and all the purchase orders receivers will appear. When selecting the purchase order 1540, 1 receiver will show up. On this screen, the user can change and select a different purchase order using the filters. The purchase order selected displays all the receivers that were received from the same purchase order. In this case, there are 2 different receivers. When the user matches the receivers to the supplier invoice, the user will then mark the applicable receivers to be added. Mark all the receivers that are included in the invoice and use the additional filtering if needed. Invoice created. Each line that is added in the invoice shows the originated receiver number. Once the receiver is created, the user can then add receivers from other purchase orders of the same supplier to the same invoice using the Options menu. New receivers are then added to the same invoice, and each invoice shows the related receiver. The invoice shows the lines received from each purchase order.